Hello and welcome to the Yacht Channel. Today I'll be having a conversation with my friend Chuck LeVere, who is the yacht person manager at Tampa Ship, which is this yard here. You'll have a link to that if you want to see it. That is a big commercial facility in Tampa, Florida, and what is less known about it is that it is currently being used by a lot of the largest yachts for doing major refits. And Chuck has an interesting history that he'll tell us about that crosses over between the commercial world and the yacht world. My attention was drawn to the operation in Tampa and to the Chues Group because of the capabilities of their offshore supply vessels and their adaptability to be converted into world-class expedition yachts. So let's get into the conversation with Chuck LeVere. Hello, Chuck. Welcome to the Yacht Channel. And where are you today?
I'm based in East Hampton for the summer, and gives me easy access to Sag Harbor, especially 10, 15 minutes away.
So, Chuck, what I wanted to do is talk today about Tampa Ship and all of the things that are connected and going on around Tampa Ship.
I work for Edison West Offshore, but one of my hats that I wear is business development, I guess, sales and marketing for Tampa Ship, which is a shipyard we acquired in Tampa, in the port of Tampa Bay, mainly to service our own vessels. The 4 dry docks that we have at Tampa Ship are deep enough and big enough to do just about anything we need as far as new builds, vessel repair.
So what we're looking at here, this is just one of the dry docks.
Well, actually, you're looking at 2. So on the right is our dry dock number 4, which goes into that building. We currently have a 92-meter vessel under construction in a dry dock inside that building. So it's an incredible facility.
You have a lot of yacht experience in your past.
I grew up in a boating family, and even before I got out of college, I started yachting when I was in college.
Right, and because of that, because of your connections back into the yacht industry, this facility, which probably has been pretty much 100% dedicated to commercial activities, until your involvement, and now.
Yeah, well, we're fortunate right now. We have a project that we're just wrapping up in the yard that is not, covered in secrecy. We more often than not, when vessels, yachts come into the yard, we're restricted in what we can talk about with NDAs. So it's in some ways it's the best kept, big yacht company, best kept secret in the business because we can't talk about a lot of what we do. And
I would say, as somebody that sometimes is seeking places to get service done on large yachts, that opportunities for yachts, say 75, 80 meters or over on the U.S. East Coast are quite limited. There just aren't a lot of options, and you have been a hidden asset until recent years, probably now is being discovered.
So certainly as far as tonnage, even probably as linear feet, the most active segment of the yacht business has been the 70 to, I don't even know what the biggest boat is now.
The ones that get up near the 300-foot range, these are not toys, these are ships, and they have to be constructed to a class and specification that is identical to the commercial boats.
Well, that's an interesting point. We have a partner in Norway, the Ulstein family. We have a fleet of vessels that we operate in the North Sea, island offshore, and a lot of those European systems are the same systems that we see on some of the European-built yachts. So.
Yeah, and further to that, yachtsmen marvel when they see azipods and diesel electric and things that are considered to be new technology in the yachting industry, and these are not new technology for the commercial builders.
Yachts have started using azipods and even hybrid systems, but yeah, these are systems. Diesel electric propulsion systems have been in offshore supply vessels for close to 20 years ago.
So Chuck, I sold this vessel. It's a 303-foot NOAA ship built by the U.S. government. And it had 4 diesel generators. It had 2 large Westinghouse motors. It would cruise at 20 knots. It topped out at 22 knots with an 18,000-mile range. So this is a 50-year-old vessel. Certainly in terms of technology, performance, and capabilities, the government and commercial vessels have been the leaders.
And then with the implementation of dynamic positioning requirements, the systems have gotten so much more sophisticated. With Marine Technologies, our company that does integrated bridge monitoring or navigation, communication, monitoring, control, alarm systems, dynamic positioning systems, all proprietary Schwess systems, including the remote monitoring system that we monitor our vessels 24/7. We have already installed systems on Lursen yacht. We installed the Turquoise Yacht Go. I think 77 meter, has a full Schwess Marine Technology integrated bridge system, including a DP system.
And that sort of brings us to my favorite subject, which is conversions of offshore commercial vessels into exploration yachts. And the yacht industry, the main designers, have decided that expedition and exploration yachts are in vogue. What naturally follows is the possibility of, instead of building a boat from scratch, which is always possible, but to take an existing, very capable offshore boat and convert it into an expedition yacht.
You and I have had this conversation many times, Paul. There's the platform for a conversion is an excellent one, especially, I'm going to toot our horn a little bit, the Schwess boats, which we went to a more efficient hull design many years ago to offer vessels that were more efficient through the water. So the hulls have more shape to them. The latest models have bulbous bows, but these vessels are designed to work in any weather for long periods of time, carrying heavy cargo. And when you design a yacht that has the capability to go anywhere for long periods of time, and as you know, they want to carry more and more cargo, not just liquid cargo like fuel, but also submarines, multiple tenders, fully commercial helicopter pads, garages to store these, if you will, toys. Requires a lot of deck space, a lot of load capacity, but even with additional superstructure and all the toys on board, you do not come anywhere near the load capacity of these hulls. They're designed, that's what they're designed for. You know, they're designed to carry heavy loads and go long distances and be self-sufficient for weeks on end, right? With no corner of the world off limits. We even have supply boats with ice class, full ice class.
This is sort of an interesting story, which will lead into Gresham's more sophisticated vision of this. Tell us about this little drawing.
Boat International has a conference every year, Super Yacht Conference. And one of the things that they challenge the naval architects and yacht design attendees to a design challenge. They got a description of a gentleman who was I think he was a younger gentleman. He had dogs. He was interested in actually tilt wing rotor aircraft.
Yes, there it is.
Yep. So there was a list of things that this fictitious person was interested in, and they were challenged to take an existing supply boat and convert it into what they visioned his dream boat was. And so they're all divided up to teams and sat down at tables and said, start drawing, right? And Steve won the competition.
Okay, so this is on an existing hull.
And, it's a 220-foot supply boat. It was originally built in 1998.
Yeah, so here's a more sophisticated rendering of that little drawing.
So he took the concept to the next level here, right? So I sent him even more information about the vessel, and this is his vision of a full conversion.
If one were to do this conversion here, they could do it in your shipyard. How long would it take you to convert one of these?
So I'll give you some ranges. I mean, we most often, we're presented with a lot of these types of questions for taking an existing Schwest supply boat and converting it. And it ranges from people who want somewhat of a kind of a commercial finished interior, more of a utilitarian vessel, to possibly support a yacht, or just the requirements for yacht level interior aren't there. They want a platform for their expeditions, helicopters, toys, submarines, tenders, fish boats, what have you. Basic conversion we can do in 12 months. The interiors and the craftsmen involved in the conversion can be all in-house personnel. We build ships at Tampa Ship. We've built several of our 90-meter vessels there, and the interiors on a modern offshore supply boat are pretty impressive. You've seen them. I've taken you on.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I call them Marriott quality or better. And those 90-meter vessels, you turn those out. How quickly do you build from start to finish? Do you do a 90-meter at Tampa?
We were launching a 90-meter PSV at Tampa Ship about every 3 or 4 months. And start to finish, we could build one in 12 months.
That's impressive.
That's building in a series, I mean, that's when you're building, when you're launching one every 3 or 4 months, and you've got basically, it's almost assembly line production, right? They're all the same.
Right.
You're building one after another. So there's lots of things that can add 6 months to the process here, 6 more months there. And I think a conversion, 12 to 24 months.
One of the other advantages that you seem to have when we've done some bidding with you is that you do so many of the tasks in-house. You don't have a lot of subs coming in and out of the shipyard.
No, very few. We have... We design and engineer the boats ourselves. We build them in our own shipyards, and the welders, the machinists, the carpenters, the electricians, the integrated bridge systems, the HVAC systems, all are in-house.
Your company ends up operating these vessels that you build.
Correct. We own and operate them. We have a fleet of about 200, well, it's over 250 vessels around the world that are mostly oil and gas, but we have a fleet of tugs that work for the Navy, that work for Alyeska Pipeline, the Alaska Pipeline Terminal in Valdez. We have, recently, there was an unfortunate incident in San Diego where there was a Navy vessel on fire. If you notice those orange tugs spraying water on the fire, those were our tugs.
Mm-hmm. And you train your own crews. I've pulled up this video, which I love, where you have a simulated helicopter turnover in the water.
Right. That's the Hewitt training, which everybody flying offshore is required to take the Hewitt training. You have to be able to escape. You're watching it right there. The guys have to be able to get themselves out of the helicopter. So
I dare say not too many shipbuilders have that capability.
And there's not only Hewitt training, but there's simulators. We actually have 2 full simulation rooms where you can have 2 active simulations going on at the same time. Another interesting point about the big yachts and the owners during this COVID-19 epidemic, a lot of them are seeking refuge on their boats, right? And not getting off. I know of 3 owners who, at the beginning of the pandemic, I guess, took refuge on their boats and stayed there, have not left the boats, and not even to visit quick shore visits. Some of them were down island. One of them was down island. That's a boat that was supposed to come to Tampa for dry docking, and the owner was on board with his family and stayed on board. I believe stayed on board for the crossing going back as well. And fairly well-known boat up here, Gene Machine. Gentleman is on board, and he's, from what I understand, has a team of his scientists on board, and they're working on a rapid test for COVID-19. But Rising Sun came through, and same thing. They were all on board and headed to Maine. I think that's where they are now. And boats, Quantum of Solace, Fountainhead, Sixth Sense, Felix, Kisses, Scout, Lioness 5, Sakara, Unbridled, Dreamboat, all have been through Sag Harbor the last couple of months.
So have we missed anything?
Most people don't put it all together. You know, they don't realize that we have in companies that I represent for the family to the yachting industry, Sealand Mechanical, HVAC systems. We just did a huge project. We mentioned earlier that we couldn't talk about a lot of vessels that come into Tampa Ship, but we have a vessel there, a 72-meter Benetti that a lot of people remember as Reverie, now called Freedom. And they've been in the yard for a couple of months. We did a big project. We installed a brand new pair of quantum dynafoil stabilizers, the first ever pair installed, by the way, and had to replace a 40-foot section of hull on each side to give the hull the structural stability for all of the new forces that these new stabilizers put on the hull. Ended up being quite a project, and the captain and the manager of the boat were very, very happy.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today, and we will get the word out on our podcast, and it'll have links to reach you back at the shipyard. And I look forward to checking in with you in the future as exciting things happen there.
Great, thanks.
That concludes today's podcast. You will find links below to the shipyard in Tampa, and also links to some of these videos that we used for illustration, and a link to a website where you can find more information about converting commercial vessels into expedition yachts. And we look forward to seeing you on the next Yacht Channel podcast. Be sure to subscribe, and we will see you soon.